us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ava. Good afternoon. I welcome family and friends of our graduates, and I would also like to thank special guests who make this graduation possible, who with their support, we celebrate this middle school graduation. Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Trethaway, Business Administrator, Mr. Craig Lorenzen, Director of Student and Administrative Services, Mr. Alex George, Director of Special Services, Mr. Ollie Wilkerson, Director of Curriculum, Mrs. Diane Pedroza, Middle School Vice Principal, Mr. Stephen Navaji, Curriculum Supervisors, Dr. Linda Saracino, Mrs. Maureen Moore, and Mrs. Michelle Hickey. And Board of Education members, President, Mr. Ken Payne, Vice President, Mrs. Jennifer Hudak, members, Mr. Daniel Staples, Mr. Brian Jenner, Mrs. Melanie Muscardi, Mrs. Gail Mount, and Lakehurst Representative, Mrs. Deborah Pease. Lastly, I want to introduce the class of 2020. Although my words are being presented very differently this year, the message being sent to the graduates of MTMS is the same. During this difficult time, this graduating class was not able to experience the traditions of graduates before them. They were unable to enjoy the excitement of medieval times, the glamour of the 8th grade dinner dance, the fun and competitiveness of the picnic, and the pride of accepting their diploma at this graduation before family and friends. However, what cannot be taken away are the friendships, knowledge, accomplishments, and memories they have made over the past 3 years, and that is what we are here to celebrate today. Graduates today journey through middle school lands. I am confident that you are prepared for the challenge and academic rigor of high school. I am also confident that you're leaving middle school with valuable lessons learned. This class has learned the power of words, for words can create or destroy, so please choose your words with care. This class has learned to strive for excellence in all you do, not perfection, but excellence. This class has learned a sense of community and appreciation for the kind acts of others. This class has learned the importance of acquiring knowledge in diverse areas of study. During these uncertain times, this class has become self-learners and self-motivators and has learned to appreciate the value of our school community. Lastly, this class has learned to treasure good friends and how to be a good friend, for friendship is a treasured gift. As Maya Angelou said, I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Graduates, I ask as you begin this next chapter of your lives, look for the guidance you need to be successful. Look for the knowledge and challenge yourself in meeting your goals and look to be the best you can be. Parents, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the last 3 years with your children. They have matured, they are prepared, and they are ready to meet the challenges of high school. Thank you, and now let us join in celebrating the accomplishments of the class of 2020. At this time, I would like to introduce Gabrielle Ashton for the student welcome address.
Greetings to all of my Manchester Township Middle School classmates, teachers, families, and friends. Thank you to Mrs. Driver, Mr. Nunavaji, and Mr. Trethaway. Thank you to our Board of Education. I am so glad that you are able to join us today. My name is Gabrielle Ashton. I thank you for sharing this momentous occasion with us as we mark the end of our middle school years and prepare to move on to the many adventures ahead of us with our virtual graduation. Thomas Edison once said, "Our greatest weakness lies the times that we've had. During the time we've had for Manchester Township Middle School, the 8th grade has put together some amazing memories. The many pep rallies and standby meet days are some of my fondest memories, as well as the last day of school each year, with everyone so excited for summer to begin. I encourage everyone to take their own special memories with them, because it is in unprecedented times like these when we need them the most. Returning to Thomas Edison's thought, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try just one more time. Although there will be bumps in the road, and we all have different paths in life we want to take, it is always important to keep trying. So much is yet to come for the 8th grade class of 2020. Enjoy the exciting day today. Keep working towards whatever you want to achieve, because the only way to get somewhere is to establish a starting point and take your first steps. Thank you for the countless memories I will cherish for many years to come.
Thank you, Gabrielle. At this time, I would like to introduce Ava Willis to give the address from your 8th grade class present.
Thank you, Mrs. Driver. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to recognize the Manchester Township Middle School Administration, Mrs. Driver, Mr. Ninavati, our Superintendent, Mr. Chuckler, the entire Manchester Township School District Administration, teachers, staff, and the Board of Education. Their consistent efforts in supporting the students of Manchester and for providing a platform to acknowledge the 2020 graduates during this unprecedented and unsettling time does not go unnoticed. Welcome, graduates, families, and friends, to the virtual graduation ceremony for the 2020 Manchester Township Middle School 8th grade graduating class. My name is Ava Willis, and I have the honor of representing my peers as the 2019-2020 class president. Well, here we are. Not exactly as we imagined it at the beginning of the school year, entering one of the best years of our lives. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. A well-known quote by Annette Patel, an actress who began a professional career as a top performer at the age of 12, just 2 years shy of where we are now. She is most known for her role as a Mouseketeer on Disney. This quote has been the forefront of my family since the day I was born. I have Usher syndrome, which means I was born deaf and I'm slowly going blind. As you can imagine, the fear of the unknown for a teenager to realize that inevitably they're going to go blind can be scary. Remembering that quote daily has been the foundation of the way I see the world. Now, many of us can relate to the emotion of having to face challenges and obstacles, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, or socially. Some of you may be having those exact feelings at this very moment, thinking about the unknown of what the first day of high school will be like, or what the rest of this pandemic will hold in our future. This time is the fork in the road for many of us. Some of us are going off to vocational, performance, and specialty high schools, leaving behind many of the faces that you knew since kindergarten. For me, my experience in Manchester was very different. I moved here just 4 years ago, entering 5th grade. Our family purposely picked a smaller community, knowing that they are some of the best places to live. A place where you know the chief of police, you see the mayor at the Little League, and you know almost every person by face or name. These are the things that make us strong enough not to dwell on the unknown and not let the feelings overtake us. Did you know that the years we were born are generationally defined as Gen Z or iGen? We are known as cloud natives rather than digital natives. Our world is everything with a lowercase I. Through the world of technology, information is at our fingertips, and most friendships start with downloading an app. By definition, we were built for this very moment to be successful and breeze through remote learning without a fault. However, something just doesn't feel right. Ending the school year without our 8th grade class trip, picnic, formal, yearbook sign page with teachers and classmates, a physical graduation of our friends is not what we had envisioned, but we do have a choice. We can dwell on our losses, or we can rise above and recall all the good times we captured over the past 3 years. We can remember the first day walking into middle school and the freedom of having conversations with friends before going to homeroom. As we transition from elementary school to middle school, we gain the independence to begin making our own choices. Trying out for sports teams for the first time, joining clubs that interested us, taking part in special events, dressing up for pep rallies, spirit weeks, and Friday night football games. Whatever made your middle school experience special is what you can choose to focus on and trust. This time of quarantine has showed us what a strong community Manchester is. Videos from teachers to students and students to teachers, wall signs to make everyone feel special, drive-by birthday parades, special trees left on doorsteps, and consistent calls from neighbors and friends checking in on one another. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Did you know that even Annette had her own challenges? At the age of 50, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a debilitating neurological disorder. She had the most severe form of the disease, and over the years, she lost her ability to walk, relying first on a cane, then on a wheelchair. But she chose to use her success to travel across the world to share her story and to provide comfort and hope. Choices. I choose to disagree with the generic definition of our generation. We are more than iPhone app experts. We are open-minded, compassionate, out-of-the-box thinkers that are proud of where we are from and willing to do what it takes to overcome the curveballs life throws at us. We are the class of 2020, and we are ready to begin our journey today with our heads up high. The halls may currently be empty, but our memories sure are full. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we will begin our awards presentation. I will announce the awards and the presenter will announce the recipient. The Academic Excellence Award goes to the top 2 highest academic averages, and our recipients are Gabrielle Ashton and Taylor Hingy. Next, I would like to introduce Mrs. Claire Rutz, and she will give the Carrie Ann Carter Awards.
Each year, we have the honor of presenting the Carrie Ann Carter Awards. And if you go to Tom's River, there's a lovely children's garden in Whiting River Park. There's a beautiful statue there commemorating Carrie Ann Carter. She was a student at Manchester Schools. She attended our middle school and also our high school. She played for softball. And if you go to Applebee's, you'll see her shirt is actually hanging in Applebee's. And so each year her parents donate these awards to commemorate her memory for her enthusiasm and for her academic excellence. And so with that, we thank them and we recognize for highest academic average Gabrielle Ashton and Maxwell Anderson. The next award that we will be giving for Carrie Ann's memory is for character achievement. And again, we have one boy and one girl. The boy is Brian Swain and Taylor Hingy. Thank you.
Our next award will be the NTEA Award, which is the Manchester Township Education Association Award. I would like to introduce Mrs. Morris Sinister to present that award.
Hello. Manchester Teachers Association, we lead by example. We hope that we strive for excellence in all of our students, and we have 2 specific students who have led by example and have achieved excellence in the last 3 years. It's Alexandra Young and Christina Peterson.
Thank you, Mrs. Sinister. At this time, I would like to reintroduce Mrs. Claire Rutz to give the Students of the Year.
Each month, students are chosen for their academic excellence, for their diligence as students, and their enthusiasm about their work. And at this time, in 8th grade, we get to choose one boy and one girl as Students of the Year. And those students are Jake Marciano and Paige Durgo.
Thank you, Mrs. Rutz. He will be presenting the next 3 awards. He will be presenting the Scholar Athlete Award, the Athletes of the Year, and the Christy Pierce Sportsmanship Award. Mr. Falcone.
Hello, everybody. From the entire PE department, we miss you, we congratulate you, and we hope that you stay safe. It's my privilege to announce the Student Athlete Award winners for the 1920 school year. This year's Female Athlete of the Year will go to Emily Kurth. The Male Athlete of the Year will go to Jeremiah Pruitt. The Female Scholar Athlete Award goes to Gabrielle Ashton. The Male Scholar Athlete Award goes to Maxwell Anderson. And the Christy Pierce Sportsmanship Award goes to Shay Jarolowitz and Elijah Calling. Congratulations. We'd like to wish the entire 8th grade best of luck in high school. And finally, we would like to congratulate Monica Tice on her retirement. You will certainly be missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Falcone. At this time, I would like to introduce our 8th grade guidance counselor, Mr. Bruce Panzarella, and he will be giving the next 2 awards. He will be presenting the Community Service Award and also the Ocean County Professional Guidance Association Award. Mr. Panzarella.
Good afternoon. The recipients this year for our Community Service Award goes to Ava Wallace, an outstanding young lady in every aspect. Our next recipient for the Ocean County Professional Guidance Association Award. Once again, a difficult decision, but goes to Ava Wallace, an outstanding young lady in every aspect. Thank you very much, and 8th graders have a wonderful career in high school.
Thank you, Mr. Panzarella. Our next award is the Fine Arts Award, and I'm going to introduce Mrs. Osowitz, our art teacher, to come up and present that award. Mrs. Osowitz.
Good afternoon. The most progressive, outstanding, and most likely to succeed in fine arts awards go to, for chorus, Enrique Bartolo; for art, Josue Riel Gomez; for band, Owen Jeffers; and for Spanish, Emily Emmer. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Osowitz. Our next award is our Drama Club Leadership Award. I would like to introduce Mrs. Nancy Pindardo to present this award.
What a year. Our production of Seussical Jr. this year was ready to go. The performance top-notch. I could hardly wait for people to see what these students could do. But it was not to be. As they say, that's showbiz. But I will always remember this cast and what they created. I'm just sorry the rest of you will not see it. Putting on a drama production is more than just the performance on stage. It takes a lot of people working on and off stage to produce a successful show. The Drama Citizenship Award recognizes students who have distinguished themselves both on and off stage. These are the students I could rely on not only to be at rehearsal, to shine on stage, but also to help off stage with the production of our shows. Madeline McDivitt, our president. She was a wonderful performer, she is a wonderful performer, and she was a wonderful president, showing great leadership in that role. Brian Tepst, who was our vice president in all our other productions, did a wonderful job. I will always remember him as Aladdin's very sentimental friend. This time he was going to be the mayor of Hoopville. Enrique Bartolo, our secretary. Through all the different roles that he played with us, I think Horton was something to see. He was amazing in his singing and in his acting. Manny Swain. What can I say about Manny? He was so enthusiastic. Sometimes I had to tell him he could not act on stage and off stage at the same time. But he was our cat in the hat. Paige Durko. She was going to do a great job as Gertrude McVuz, a wonderful performer. I will always remember her gluing on sequins and pinning on feathers, as well as doing a great job on stage. Genesis Salguero. So smart, so wonderful, what a voice, and always someone who came to rehearsal with everything learned. Haley Corvino, one of our silly girls in Beauty and the Beast, and she was going to be the wife of the mayor of Hoopville. Terrific performer, terrific off stage. Eric Marin, one of my favorite stage brains, devoted to getting things done, and our stage manager. Maxine Craddock, also a stage brain, someone who came to me in the beginning of the year and said, I want to run the CD player, the accompaniment, and was always there, spot on with every cue. Shelby Conte, our choreographer, and what a wonderful job she did. You should have seen the dances she created for Seussical. Fantastic talent.
Thank you, Mrs. Pedrono. Our next award is the Administrative Unit Award. This award will be presented by our Vice Principal, Mr. Stephen Ninavachi.
As President of the Administrative Unit for Manchester Township School District, it's my honor to award Ava Bullis this honor. She's an exceptional candidate.
Thank you, Mr. Ninavachi. Our next award is the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. This award will be presented by Mr. Ninavachi.
We have 12 eighth graders this year who have achieved the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Those students are Gabrielle Ashton, Ava Bullis, Paige Durko, Emily Emmert, Sarahi Gaspar, Taylor Hengy, Shay Juralowitz, Catherine Ann Lampriel, Madeline McDevitt, Christina Peterson, Shelby Schwartz, and Alexandra Young. Congratulations to all of them.
Thank you, Mr. Ninavachi. Our next award is our Middle School Achievement Award. I would like to introduce Mrs. Morris Sinister to present this award.
The Middle School Achievement Award is being presented to Nate Clark and Gianna DeFonso.
Thank you, Mrs. Sinister. Our final award for today is our Manchester's Future Engineering Award. It is our STEM award, and I would like to introduce our STEM teacher, again, Mrs. Morris Sinister, to present this award.
short this year, the work done by our engineering students will never go unnoticed. We continue as a team to learn how to work together to become better problem solvers. The team has worked very hard in the last 3 years, and these 3 young individuals have displayed a great work ethic, teamwork, collaboration, and devotion to the engineering team. They have set an example to the other engineering students on the team, and they have definitely led by example. Those 3 students are Noah Peslak, Charles Brooks, and Natalia Stevens.
Thank you, Mrs. Minister. It is my pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Trethewey.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome all of you who are watching tonight, which includes members of the Board of Education, the middle school staff, the parents, family, friends, and of course, the future graduating class of 2024. I know this is a very different promotion ceremony, but I want to take a moment to commend Mrs. Driver, Mr. Ninavaji, and the committee for doing everything possible to make this night special for our 8th grade students. Thank you. Tonight I would like to begin by first recognizing the parents of these 8th grade students for the sacrifices that you continue to make for your children and for your efforts to provide them every opportunity to be successful. This has been a very challenging year for all of our families in Manchester, yet throughout this time you continually made your children and their education a priority, despite all of the obstacles you have faced as a family. It was once said that the true measure of a person is how they react in different times. With this in mind, we no doubt have some very special parents in Manchester. Thank you and congratulations. I'd also like to take a moment to commend the administration and staff of the middle school for all of their hard work in preparing these students for high school. Our staff, like many others, were expected to provide remote instruction and meet the needs of all of our students without any warning or prior training on this platform. Yet because they are professionals and they truly care about our students, they continue to provide quality instruction. Martin Luther King once said, "Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." And that is what I believe our middle school staff is all about. Thank you for your efforts. Now to say a few words to this 8th grade class. As you move on to high school, you will be pulled in many different directions. You will be making more and more decisions on your own. You will have to make a lot of choices, and since you can't do everything, you will need to prioritize between school, your family, and a lot of activities. When you get to these choices, it is essential to remember what is really important. You may not remember all that is said here tonight, but I hope you think of this story when you are faced with tough choices in high school. A teacher walked into a classroom and set an empty glass aquarium on the desk. Without saying anything to the class, he placed a dozen large rocks into the aquarium until no more would fit. He then asked the class if the container was filled, and they said yes. He then poured a box of pebbles into the container. The pebbles filled the gaps that were created by the large rocks. Again he asked the class, "Is the aquarium filled now?" Again they said yes. He then took a bag of sand and poured it into the aquarium, and sand filled the remaining open areas. Now it was full. The teacher then explained that the large rocks represented the most important things in life, such as your family, your friends, and your health. The pebbles represented the next most important things in life, such as work and school. The sand represented the small stuff, such as the car you will drive or the sports or clubs you will be involved in, personal things. The teacher explained that if you put the sand in first, there is no room for the pebbles or the rocks. In other words, if you focus on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are really important. So the advice is, take care of the large rocks first, the things that really matter, your family and your friends. Remember that it's truly important to take care of this first, and you will still have space for the small stuff. So as you begin to make those decisions, never put the small stuff in front of the big stuff. This year, more than any other year I can remember, you have been challenged. And you've met this challenge with the support of your family. If we learn anything from this pandemic crisis, it is that we now realize how important our family and friends are. I'm proud of this 8th grade class and what they've accomplished through some very difficult times. I also know that your friends and families are very proud of you today. In fact, this may be one of their proudest moments. My last piece of advice to you is that it's just a suggestion. If you need it, today may be your best opportunity to ask them for some money. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce Board of Education President, Mr. Ken Pate, to come forward to address the class of 2020.
Good evening, graduates of Manchester Township Middle School 2020, parents, guests. On behalf of the Board of Education, I would just like to congratulate all those of you that are graduating this year. It's been an unusual year, a very difficult, trying year in many ways for many of us, but you've risen to the occasion, you've done well in your studies, and now you've earned the right to go on to high school. Whether you're going to Manchester Township High School or whatever institution you're going to, have fun when you get in high school. High school is about a time of exploring, learning, seeing who you are, seeing what you like, see what direction, what your path to take in the future. Don't take their studies too seriously, and yet don't let them slack either. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the clubs. Students who join clubs and do sports end up doing much better in their academics than any other students in the school. That's been proven time and time again. So do that, explore, learn, grow. And most of all, come together and back each other up. If we see what's going on in the world around us today, that's never been more important than it is now. We're looking forward to great things from you in the future. Looking forward to you graduating, class of 24, from the high school, and may you go forth and be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. Mr. Pate, as principal of the Manchester Township Middle School, I certify that the class of 2020 has satisfactorily completed the prescribed curriculum of studies and has met the requirements for graduation as established by the Board of Education. Mr. Nnabaji will now announce the graduates of the class of 2020.
throughout these 3 years have spent their time educating and shaping us into the teenagers we are today. And to all of the parents and guardians who have supported their child through their many endeavors of teenage life. I will admit, it is a bit strange to be doing this all virtually, not being able to watch everybody's faces and give the people I care about a hug, or simply watch most of my classmates so now, because you probably could care less about listening to a boring speech. But despite all the crazy odds we've been put up against this year, like pandemics and quarantine and virtual learning, we still made it. There is a quote by Art Linkletter that says, things turn out best for people who make the best out of the way things turn out. This year has gone nothing like we could have ever imagined, but we still found ways to persist and persevere until the very end. We made the best out of the unusual way things turned out. Alas, our school days are far from over. In only a few months, we'll be faced with even harder challenges in high school, walking in the doors as tiny, clueless freshmen. But just like we did in 6th grade, we face it head on, and in the blink of an eye, we'll be graduating again. Life goes by too fast, I've learned, and if we don't stop and look around to see what we're doing now, we might miss it. Yes, maybe we did miss out on a lot of the things we were looking forward to our 8th grade year, but the future holds a lot more for us. I remember back to 6th grade. I was coming from another school district. I knew only a few people, and being in a real middle school with switching classes and lockers was terrifying. But here's where I want to thank you, the students, my classmates and peers, who not only made my middle school experience a great one, but I'm sure most of you as well. We've all made memories that we'll cherish for years to come, such as in 7th grade when we won the first ever Manchester Middle School pep rally, beating the 8th graders. Yet they weren't too happy about that. We've made friends and developed bonds that have helped to make us the people we are today. Middle school was far from perfect, but I hope that when you look back at yourself, see how much you've grown and changed, you're proud of the mark you've left behind. You're proud of what you've learned, your successes, what you've lost and gained, and even the mistakes you've made. Our future is unwritten, especially with all that's going on in the world. We may be leaving behind these views, but we have a lot more room to grow in the Big C High School. I want to thank you all again, and congratulations to my fellow graduates.
Thank you, Taylor. I would like to thank our middle school staff. I would like to thank these dedicated professionals for all their hard work and efforts throughout the year. I also want to acknowledge the Middle School Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Megan Baumgartner. Mrs. Baumgartner was selected by her colleagues, and we congratulate her on her accomplishments. At this time, I would also like to thank Mr. Christopher Rosher, our tech supervisor, for providing this filming of this virtual graduation. I would also like to thank our Vice Principal, Mr. Stephen Navaji, for all his efforts with this virtual graduation. And I'd like to thank Lee Brasidas for helping us in this virtual graduation. And everyone else, the Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, that helped us to present this to you. I'd also like to give a special thank you to our parents. Support from parents is essential for the success of your children. I view the school, parents, and students as a team. Each member of the team must support each other. I want to thank each parent for your time, help, patience, and support throughout the middle school years. This concludes the graduation ceremony this afternoon. On behalf of Mr. Navaji, the middle school staff, I congratulate the class of 2020 and wish them the best of luck in high school. Graduates, goodbye and good luck.